running from, creating suspense and mystery. And then you eventually see her getting brutally killed by a hidden character. And then scene cuts out and goes into the credit sequence.
And then from this we tried to establish then an equilibrium. So we got this close-knit community, and they've thrown the girl who died, they've thrown her a fate. So everything all seems well and dandy, as a saying, but then this little girl, Molly's sister, goes missing.
Okay, police start investigating, forensic science teams are on the scene, but they can't actually find anything. And at that point, the girl's parents are arguing more, and the mother turns to be an alcoholic and stuff.
The girl's older sister can't stand the problems at home anymore. The parents are giving her grief. The police can't find anything to connect the disappearance to the murder. So the girl decides to take matters into her own hands. She starts doing her own investigation into the problems. She asks around the village, asking them what they saw at the fate, whether there were any witnesses. And this is where she uses the voice recorder microphone. And that's a key point in the story of where she records her investigations into.
As Molly begins to investigate and start finding evidence of where her sister might be or who did it, other incidents begin to occur around the village. For example, in the next a few scenes later after Molly's investigating, we're going to show a small group of children, all similar in age to the previous children that have gone missing, go missing from the village playground. Police again struggle to find evidence of where they've gone or who's taken them, and Molly continues her investigation.
So a few days after this playground incident, Molly is now walking down the village street, but she senses someone or something was watching her. It makes her feel insecure, but when she turns around to see who's there, no one's there. As she turns around again, she bumps into the village priest who Elliot was previously on about. He apologises and comments on his sister's disappearance and how he hasn't seen either of them in church for several months. Molly smiles and carries on walking, thinking nothing of it.
She arrives at the playground and looks around for any signs of evidence. She can't find anything. As she goes to leave, she notices a large adult-sized shoe print of mud on the path. She takes a photo and returns back home.
Okay, at this part of the story, we can kind of sense it's the recognition part of the narrative structure, and with a little bit of disruption, obviously. And whilst looking back at a shoe print on the computer, she struggles to find clues and suspects of it. She sits back in distress, and so as she does, she notices a pattern of notes on a flyer in the pile on her desk, and that relates back to the priest stepping on the thing. So that's the true recognition. And that's we also have a flashback using camera shots and edits.
Would that not be the climax, or the climax is between the protagonist and the antagonist?
Yes.
Oh, right, okay.
That's the opening night.
So that's the main recognition. So now Molly knows that it's the priest. Well, she's pretty sure. So Molly quickly grabs a bag and microphone that she's been doing the investigation with and runs out of the house, and at this time it's now night. She runs to the village church where she assumes that the priest will be, and as she arrives there, the lights are on inside unusually, and the door is unlocked. So she creeps in looking for the children and the priest.
Suddenly, as she walks around the corner into the main church, a horrible smell hits Molly, and she sees all the missing children, all dead in the church pews, like almost set out like a Sunday school thing. And then, as she runs, she sees her sister, and she runs for her to see if she's alive. She does not move, suggesting she's dead.
So as Molly stands in the church, she's breathing deep and then beginning to cry, so she's feeling the panic take over. The priest appears from the shadows and begins to loudly preach and pray. So he's cornering Molly into a corner. Then, as the priest leads into her, she can see the blood stained on his hands, but Molly takes out a Bible from behind her and smacks the priest around the head.
This is like the main fight at the moment, and right at the end of the story. And as the priest crouches in pain, Molly pushes past him and begins to run for the door, the main entrance. But then, just as Molly reaches for the door, it swings open and the crowd of villagers swarm in.
Molly kind of breaks down with relief that she's being backed up, and all the she can tell all the adults what's going on, that she's found who's killing the children in the village. However, as she does so and begs for their help, the adults are completely ignorant of her and force her back into the church while pronouncing prayers.
So Molly is now beginning to panic and scream. What's wrong with you? You killed them all. He's right there. Why won't you help me? But the adults still continue to crowd around Molly. As the priest leans in and sedates her, she screams as she blacks out.
So then when she finally wakes up, she's slightly dazed at first. As she begins to take in surroundings, she finds she's outside and all the adults are surrounded around her. Molly looks around and then finally realises she's actually been crucified. This is the climax of the actual plot. She screams in pain and disbelief of it all. And then we would just cut to a black screen there and then the credits would come in.
Thank you very much for listening to our presentation.